All right, here it is. It's one of the few reviews I've seen on YouTube. It's a New Holland Workmaster 50. I bought it new February 22. Remotes. I like the tractor. I've debated about doing this video because I really like it in a lot of ways, and I'm satisfied for the most part with it. I use it baling hay, raking hay, and loading hay, and it works good. I use that 530 piston baler. Works good behind it. The tractor's got really good power for the size. I like a lot of the options. I watched a lot of stuff on YouTube about it, about comparing it. I like New Holland tractors. I have a New Holland. I like it. It's a smaller tractor than this, a good bit. Compact tractor. But this tractor, I've had just a few problems with it. New. It had just a few hours on it and it quit moving. I had to have New Holland come and get it. They fixed it. There was a cable that was messed up on the shuttle. They fixed that under warranty. The tractor now has 80 hours on it. Used it all this season. Summer of 22, raking and baling, and no real complaints except for it was never really 100% right when I got it back. It would not crank. The engine wouldn't turn over. It was a safety switch, which there's a lot of safeties on the new tractors. It has a neutral safety switch for the high-low. It has a neutral safety switch for the 4-speed side of it. It has one on the clutch, one on the seat, one on the brake, and so on. My problem with it now is when you try to crank it, one of those switches is holding it out. I was planning on taking it back to them today. However, I have not. I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit here just after Christmas because it would just sit outside down there, and I like to keep it under a shed. Now, the big reason I bought this was because price was one thing. They were very good on price in comparison to the other tractors. But I liked the fact that everything on this tractor was manual. The Kubota has a button over there on the fender, electric for the PTO. I don't like that. This tractor has got a independent PTO, just like the Kubota, but you can ease it into gear with this lever. So if you have an implement that you want to ease it into gear, you can do that with that. The guy on Messick's, he was talking about welcome back to 1960s. Well, this tractor's, it's got some things like that, I guess you could say, but it's a nice tractor. I do like it. I just hope they can get the switches and stuff straight on it. And otherwise, I would recommend it. But I'm still a Kubota man. I like Kubota. There were a few options on the Kubota that I didn't like. And for what my needs were, this suited me a little better, price-wise, and so on. I added the canopy to it. It's got the third function on it. I do like everything about that. That's very ergonomic. When I take it back to the dealer, I'm going to have them spread the wheels out on the back. You move the right side to the left and left to the right and so on the front. And that makes the tractor wider. I need that. I'm probably going to get them to add me several hundred pounds of weight. The rear tires are loaded, but I'm going to get more weight put on the back. It needs that also. That's my grapple that I got for it. It works good. It's not exactly the grapple I wanted, but once again, a lot of times price dictates what you end up getting. This grapple is really heavy. I like that about it, but I wanted one that wasn't really so far out like this on the bottom, but more like a root grapple. But I've been impressed with the way this works. It really works really, really well, surprisingly. Much better than I thought it would. But as you can see, fine lawnmower collection too. But Anyway, main reason was because there's just not a lot of information out on these New Hollands, or at least when I try to look it up. The 50, the 60, and the 70, as far as the Workmaster, are pretty much so the same, naturally, except for horsepower. But like I say, I like the tractor. It's been really good so far. I just hope it holds up, like everybody would hope if you bought something like that. It pulls my mower fine. I've got two of these drum mowers. This one's a Samza, I think's how you pronounce it, or Samaz. It works good, cuts nice and clean. It's heavy, I will say that. It's a very heavy mower. You know you got it when you got it on the side of the tractor. But it carries it all right and does okay with it. But the other one is a fella mower. And it's a good mower too. It's a little older than this one. But didn't really want two, but I ended up with two just because I needed a backup. One of them broke a belt of all things, and a belt held me out from cutting for a while. And I said, well, I just need to get another mower. As crazy as that sounds, but I've got spare belts and everything for everything now, which you should have, and I knew that, but somehow or another you don't tend to buy what you need until you need it sometimes. But like I say, it's a really good tractor. They're priced a good bit lower. I want to say around 10 grand less than the Kubota. Let me touch on the options on this one more time about what I like about this versus the Kubota in the same size tractor. This tractor comes standard with draft control on the plow. The Kubota did not. You could have had it on the tractor, but you had to special order it. This tractor's got the synchronized shuttle. One thing that this tractor does not have that the Kubota did have, this tractor does not have a hydraulic shuttle. It has a shuttle where you have to clutch it. You have to stop to go to reverse and clutch it, which is fine on me. That's not a big deal. But the draft, I don't do a lot of plowing, although you can see I've been plowing. I plowed the garden. It's nice to have when you are doing that. And that's one reason the tires are a little muddy too. But plowed great. The draft worked extremely well. I just have a regular John Deere. I think it's a 14-inch two-bottom plow, maybe a 16, I don't know. But it's just a standard two-bottom plow. Pulled it fine, plenty of power. It let it go all the way and bury it and just keep on going with it. But still, I ain't trying to bash Kubota. They're an excellent tractor. But for the money and for the options, I really liked and plus a dealer that was close. New Holland was a little closer. So that's why I went with it. Anyway, if you like the channel, like and subscribe. Thank you.